Hey guys, let's get into the 7 best tips to safely color your damaged hair. Okay, so let me guess, you found yourself in a pretty sticky predicament. You've managed to damage your precious tresses. Whether the damage is heat, hair color, or even mechanical damage, the now fragile condition of your hair, it makes it super duper difficult to not only style, but to also color. Many will advise those with damaged hair to avoid color like the plague. Little do they know that depending on the condition of your strands, you may actually be able to pull off a beautiful new color and to improve the health of your hair in the process. Number 1, first thing first, let's assess the damage before considering applying any chemical to your hair. You must be aware of what has actually compromised your hair. Check out these descriptions to determine what you may have. First, is it heat damage? This occurs when you continuously apply high heat to your hair strands. The result can be dry, brittle, or even the loss of hair or your curl pattern. The disulfide bonds in the hair strands, they can rearrange or be damaged by the overuse of hot styling tools. And yes, this includes your blow dryer. Next, color damage. This occurs when you improperly use color chemicals or lightener on your hair. Lightener, peroxide, and ammonia, these are some of the components that can be damaging to your hair without proper pre as well as post care. Next, let's talk about mechanical damage. This occurs when daily manipulation, this causes your hair to become weak in some areas, resulting in loss of curl pattern or even breakage. Once you've assessed your damage, follow these steps to decide how we need to proceed. Step number 2, minimize the damage regardless of the cause. Minimizing the damage before any hair coloring process is imperative. First, let's cut off the split ends. They have to go. If you notice any dead ends or split ends, you will need to cut them off. I recommend allowing a stylist to give you a thorough trim, merely because they can see the back of your head better than you can. They'll also be able to provide you with a precise haircut, most importantly. If you don't remove the split ends before a hair color process, you actually run the risk of your hair breaking off, further splitting up the hair shaft, and this is going to result in excessive breakage and irreversible damage. We can also do a deep treatment. I highly recommend pampering yourself with a penetrating protein treatment just a few days before your hair coloring process. You can complete a deep protein treatment at home or in a salon with your trim session if you prefer. Finish your wash day routine with your favorite moisturizing leave-in conditioner and then style to your desire. We can also do a hot oil treatment. This is another excellent home DIY remedy. Pick an oil that has high levels of protein and nutrients. I recommend mixing 2 parts of coconut oil with 1 part of olive oil in a small Pyrex glass bowl. You want to bring about 3 cups of water to boil in a small pot and set the Pyrex bowl inside of the boiling water. The heat from the water, this will melt the oil down. Once you have fully melted the oil, you should carefully test the temperature to prevent burns. Apply the oil to your hair, focusing on the ends. Allow the oil to sit for 2 minutes, then shampoo and condition your hair with a protein-rich shampoo. Step number 3, let's pick a semi-permanent color or rinse. Semi-permanent colors or rinses, they're typically non-damaging to the hair, and they can also aid in the health of your hair. They provide a protective and non-permanent coating to the hair, adding shine as well as sealing down the cuticle. The result is fresh color that feels soft and silky. If you choose to use a fashion color like blue, red, etc., you will notice a slight hue of color only when you're in the sunlight. If you want to see vivid, vibrant results when working with pastel colors, it is best to apply semi-permanent hair color on pre-lightened hair. These colors, they will not lighten your hair. Now, let's get to the fun part. Step number 4, coloring your hair using semi-permanent hair color. It is super duper easy because it is only a 1-step process. We love that. No developer, no mixing, no foil, no fuss. Just grab a pair of disposable gloves, squeeze a generous amount of color into your hands or color bowl, and apply thoroughly through your hair. If you have long and thick hair, you want to separate your hair into 4 equal quadrants for easier application. Once all of the color has thoroughly saturated your hair, apply a processing cap, and you want to sit under a hooded dryer for at least 15 to 20 minutes. If you do not have a hooded dryer, allow the color to process for 20 to 30 minutes. After the time has elapsed, you want to rinse the color thoroughly with lukewarm water. Lightly shampoo and condition with the moisturizing or color protect formula. Once you've reached this point, you can style your hair as usual. You should notice a fresh, healthy hair color and moisturized, shiny strands. Your hair should also feel much more robust due to the protein treatments. Feel free to repeat this color process as often as you like. As I stated earlier, semi-permanent hair color is a non-damaging color that just coats the cuticle. It never penetrates into the cortex. The semi-permanent color, it will never lift the natural or previous color of your hair. And it may only last about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how often you shampoo your hair. After many applications and over time, the color will start to last longer due to so many coats compared to just one use. Now, let's get into coloring damaged hair extensions. Yes, they can get damaged. So this method also works on 100% human hair extensions. If you had your bundles for a while and you've used a ton of heat on them, I know you did, and there's a chance that they may have suffered some heat damage, especially on the ends. Giving your hair extensions some semi-permanent color love is perfect to remedy this issue. Step number 5. Trim the split ends similar to your natural hair. It is always best to trim dead and split ends off of your extensions. The best way to do this is to construct your extensions into a wig or install them into a sew-in. Step number 6, when we're working with the extensions, you want to skip the deep treatment unless your hair extensions are extremely damaged. I recommend omitting the deep treatment step to avoid oily hair. If you need to do a treatment, leave the conditioner in just for 10 minutes only to avoid heavy hair. Step number 7, apply the color to your hair extensions. Similar to your natural hair, you want to apply the hair color thoroughly through the hair extensions. Once they are all saturated, proceed to sit them in a plastic shopping bag to allow them to process. I recommend leaving the color in for at least an hour. The longer the color sits, the longer the color will last. After the allotted time has elapsed, merely shampoo the color out the bundles and condition them. Let the hair air dry and then style it as usual. Now, time for the do's and don'ts. Although this is a relatively easy and straightforward process, there are a few crucial do's and don'ts to prevent any hiccups. Do use an old t-shirt. This is a no-brainer, but be sure to use an old t-shirt that you're okay with staining with color. While at it, protect your carpet with painter's plastic to prevent staining. Semi-permanent hair color, it tends to stain more than semi-permanent and permanent color. So be mindful. Do not use brown or black on blonde hair. You will be sorry. If your hair is a high lift blonde, do not put a brown semi-permanent color on top of it. Your hair color will turn a nasty green color if you do. Trust. You need to mix a red color filler into a brown black dye to get a darker color so that it is not green. Even when using the red filler, there's a chance that your hair will fade to green only because the color is not permanent. Do color healthy hair or damaged hair. Semi-permanent color is safe to use on damaged hair. In this case, this includes heat damage and minor color damage. Do not color over processed hair. Do not color your over-processed hair. Over-processed, this means if your hair is breaking nonstop, if your hair feels gummy, or if your hair has combined heat and color damage. Your hair is not in the condition to color at all. Do not be discouraged though. I will provide excellent tips to start a healthy hair journey to improve or reverse your damage if possible. To prevent further damage and reversing previously damaged hair, first remember, hair damage, it's inevitable, but ways to prevent excessive damage, they actually do exist. Keep up with your trims. I know many women prefer not to cut their hair because they want to keep the length, but this is counterproductive because damaged hair, it does not grow. Split ends, they're dry and brittle and eventually break off. Splits also tend to continue to split up the strands. So when you finally get a trim, you'll have more hair to cut off. Maintain a stable treatment regimen. You must take care of your hair to prevent damage. Sometimes as simple as leaving your conditioner in for 15 minutes every week can literally improve the condition of your hair. Create a solid treatment routine that works best for you. If your hair is damaged, one treatment a week is required. If your hair is in a healthy state, a treatment every 2 weeks, it's sufficient. Now, let's upgrade your products. Not to be pretentious, but not all drugstore products are worth the investment. Many cheaper products, they're filled with water, silicones, and fillers to create just an illusion of healthier hair. But the result is short-lived. It is imperative to invest in quality hair products that fill your hair with nutrient-rich ingredients that are formulated to repair and maintain the health of your hair. Also, we need to use less heat. Prevent heat damage by simply turning down the flat iron and limiting the use. Try flexi rod sets, wash and goes, twist outs, and other heatless styles to maintain and style your hair without the excess heat. Skip the blow dryer, sis. Although we don't consider blow drying direct heat, it can actually damage your hair over the time with excessive use due to its flash drying technology. If you allow your hair to air dry or stretch your hair using flexi rods, curl foamers, twists, or braid outs, you will find that your hair is much more moisturized, resulting in healthier ends. Overcoming the damage with these tips and techniques, you are well on your way to safely coloring your damaged natural hair or weave while improving the health of your tresses. Remember, improving the health of your hair is a journey. You may have made some mistakes along the way, but implementing these new steps to your regimen can radically improve your tresses over time. Comment below and let us know what color that you're gonna try out.